After the catastrophe that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, there was pretty much nowhere to go with the franchise afterwards. It was ruined, especially the character of Leatherface, from this to this. So it was best to put it to rest. And that rhymed. I'm gonna be a rapper one day. But after years and years, there was talk of a remake for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and judging from what we've seen, yes, let's have Leatherface be menacing again instead of a slapstick clown. Let's go back to the horror instead of the comedy. And in 2003, there was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, one of the first remakes for the horror icons. Michael, Freddy, Carrie, Chucky all came later, but this was the kind of kickstart the slasher genre needed after getting worn out. And would you know, the movie actually turned out to be a successful film. I mean, it's a mixed bag by all viewers and critics, but as far as commercially and financially go, it damn well did good. And since my opinion is the only one that matters because I am a god, ha 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 ha. Okay, what was that? Let's see what this movie was all about. For one thing, Tobe Hooper and Kim Henkel came back to serve as co-producers, and the original narrator came back to do the opening intertitle as well as the original choreographer, so it was like a Texas Chainsaw reunion. Just no Gunnar Hansen. Only in the first film. The plot is pretty much the same, but done differently to support the overall scenarios of this franchise. Instead of 5 teenagers visiting a homestead to find out what happened to one of their father's grave sites, 5 teenagers whose names are all changed travel to go to a concert after going to Mexico to pick up marijuana. So yeah, that's a pretty big change from before. Instead of picking up a member of the Sawyer family only to leave him stranded, they pick up a victim, I guess you can say, who's a female, and blows her brains out immediately after entering their car. And this is only 10 minutes into the film, so it really gets going quick. The camera shots are really clever, I'll give it that. It could be seen as cheap, but the way it pans from in the van through the open skull, then outside the van to show all the teens in distress is really cool. The biggest difference is the name of the family. Instead of the Sawyer family, it's now the Hewitt family, and instead of Leatherface being Jackson Sawyer, he's now Thomas Hewitt. That's 3 different names that this fucking guy has had. The other was Junior Slaughter, and the new house is even more creepy than it was before. I hate to go in there, even if it does eventually turn into a restaurant. There's this little boy in the film now that was never in the original. He's very friendly and disagrees with what the Hewitt family do for a living. He's not shown very much, and it's unclear what happens to him, but nevertheless, the first to go is Kemper, who goes in the house to look for his girlfriend Erin, when all of a sudden, it's just like the original movie. It comes out of nowhere, but that first appearance by Leatherface is awesome, and I'm gonna say this right now. I think this is the best Leatherface has ever looked, hands down. He just looks so damn menacing and scary that it's the #1 thing I love about this film. Definitely an upgrade from last time, and thank you for delivering. It's funny how I also think the remake look of Michael Myers is my favorite, also as well as the reboot version of Jason Voorhees. Freddy could go fall in a ditch. Other than Leatherface, besides the name change, everyone is completely new. You have an old man who has no legs, 2 ladies who stole a baby and are obsessed with it, and the best one of all is R. Lee Ermey. He's so damn good as the sheriff and so menacing. He steals every scene he's in, and it's almost like his character from Full Metal Jacket jumped from that movie to this movie.
I'd blow your fucking brains out right now, asshole. Get out of the van. Get out!
So he's a great addition to the franchise, and I'm assuming he's supposed to be the Drayton of this series, but with all the new characters and subplot, I don't know. The deaths are really grotesque too. It's like a breath of fresh air to see Leatherface scary again, but that reveal of his face, yeah, I didn't need to see that at all. When the film was in development, they just wanted it to be like the original and have the original actress Marilyn Burns, who played Sally Hardesty, to return being a lot older and telling her story through flashback. But they scrapped it, and I'm kinda glad they did too, because it would be a blasphemy. and doing something different would make the movie great in its own right. Roger Ebert gave this movie 0 out of 4 stars. Yes, saying the movie was ugly and brutal and people shouldn't even be defending it. Well, this is me simply saying speak for yourself because you are in control. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is a very decent horror film. I like it better than most horror remakes. The cinematography is better than ever. A lot of the characters are creepy and believable. It has a satisfying ending with a main girl escaping, running over Arlie Ermey again and again until he's dead, and Leatherface looking on in the rain, pissed, which is one of the best shots of Leatherface. Glad to see he's menacing again and not comedic. Like Michael Myers being a slapstick clown in Halloween Resurrection and then being revived as a menace again in the Halloween 2007 remake. But oh man, if you thought the remake was shit or it was good, wait till you see what's next. Stay tuned.